Leaving Lineside Studios and travelling out can sometimes feel like a bittersweet symphony. I don't know where I'm going or who I'm going to see, but today I'm a lucky man because I'm here to see Marcus from Sparksafe in the property behind me, and he's installing the Verve range of electrical accessories from Hamilton. Marcus?
Just in the lounge, pal, come through.
All right, okay. All right, Eric, how you doing?
Good, you?
Wow, it looks like you're fitting one of those invisible sockets from Hamilton. I thought we were fitting the Verve range. I can't see a socket, Marcus.
No, so I haven't actually managed to fit one of them invisible socket outlets yet. So what I'm going to be using, which I use quite commonly, is the Hamilton Verve range. I love the slim profile of these. The range they have is unbelievable. I mean, if a customer wants it, Hamilton are going to have it. I think these are standard on every job. The customer was wallpapered with Wagoed in there so they can wallpaper. We're going to cut the wallpaper out, so it's not a wallpaper socket, Gaz. And then we're going to fit a single socket. There was the old conversion kit on here. They didn't want them. They're trying to, as they decorate each room, get sockets mounted inside the wall, whether we're going to be chasing them in. This one already had a single back box, so they just want a single socket here. So we're going to cut around the wallpaper and do that.
I'm glad you cleared that up for me because I was a little bit worried when I come in. I thought we're not going to be fitting anything. So just going to slice the wallpaper out and just fit that socket for us then. Nice to see you busy. Well, it's going to make a big difference to this room, isn't it? So they're freshening up the electrical accessories as they go round. This is the first room they're decorated. They're only just got into the property. Nice bit of wallpaper, and so obviously it'll just raise it up a little bit in the air. I noticed the switch when I came in was in need of being replaced. So again, we'll see what an improvement just changing white accessories over to new ones can make to a room.
100%. The old conversion plate is still here, so I'm just trying to cut around that first, just so we can start to loosen that.
Okay, have you fitted any of those wallpaper ones from Hamilton before?
I haven't, not yet, no.
Okay, so it would have been a golden opportunity to upsell into here. But
it would have, yeah. But again, this is just a matter of swapping accessories for nice new fresh ones, which ultimately will make a big difference.
You said the range was massive. I've had a look through it, and I don't think we can do it justice in this video. I'll leave a link in the description to the range. Yeah. But is that one of the things that drew you to it then?
Yeah, 100%. You know, the way you can swap over the grids, the microgrid systems they have, you can almost have any combination you want. It's just a great range to have.
Am I right in thinking the Euro module's in there as well as that microgrid?
Yes.
Yeah, that gives you a lot of flexibility across the Hamilton range.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I'm just getting this conversion plate off.
Okay, they look
rusty.
And then they come. So
and then I should be able to see where the actual back box finishes, and I can cut round that. Just cut into the corners and fold them so we can get the single socket on there. So I've took the conversion kit off now. You see, nice and rusty. I imagine the wallpaper paste had something to do with that. I'm just going to fit on a single switch socket outlet, again with the slim profile, which is lovely. Just quickly as well, just got to hand here, because we're going to be changing one of these, is a fuse connection unit. The thing I love about the Hamilton ones is rather than have the terminals all over the place and you've got to get underneath and tighten the terminals up, you've actually just got all the terminals at the top here. So you've got the line out, line in, next to each other, neutral in, neutral out, which is a really nice way of doing it, as opposed to, especially if you're in a kitchen, it's mostly where they're going to be, and you've got the worktop there and you're trying to get underneath, or you're spinning it round and you pop it back round. It's just a nice way to do it. So
nice thought, nice touch.
Yeah. So we just get these out the Wagoes, or Vargo.
Yeah. Old colours as well, so pre-2004.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been EICR on the property before all the work was carried out, and we're just freshening up these accessories. It's going to look good though, because this wallpaper wall is quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's the pattern on it's nice, isn't it? And it'll just show off with nice accessories on it, nice white accessories.
Yeah, just give it a little bit of a pop.
Trim that off, yeah. Just going to update the sleeving. It's gone a bit brittle over the years. As you see, not on the neutrals, not the best amount of length. So because I'm going to have to trim these down because they're slightly damaged, I'm probably not going to double these over. Again, doubling over is good practice, but when they're so short, I'd rather not cut more off than I need to. So
those grids look massive.
Yeah, they are. And again, they're nice solid terminals. Another thing I like, just the thought behind the accessory, is all these terminals are in line with each other.
Oh, right.
So they're not scattered about at the back of the accessory, etc. They're just all nice and in line, and it just helps with the termination process. So, especially when you have shorter cables and you haven't got to try and get them here, there, and everywhere.
Oh yeah, some at the top, some at the bottom. Yeah, try and
Yeah,
adjust
yeah.
them into back because generally the conductor lengths all tend to be the same.
Yeah,
Don't they?
yeah, exactly.
Side by side, that makes it a little bit easier. Pop those CPCs. I'm quite intrigued to see what it looks like against the wallpaper.
Yeah, same. And I think it just goes to show sometimes just by changing the electrical accessories, especially when you get a nice rounded edge profile, slim profile accessory, it does make for a nice difference. And generally the customers are sort of wowed and think, oh, I don't have to have polished chrome for it to look $1 million almost.
As it's a finished socket outlet, are the screw caps going to go in?
Yeah, so because they've already decorated around it, normally I wouldn't put them on because they might want to sort of take it off slightly, but because they have, we're just going to get the screw caps in just to finish it off.
So these are ones I like to replace because it's easy impact, isn't it, just by swapping it for a fresh one, but you're not going for standard 2-gang, are you?
No, we're going to put in the 2-gang dimmer range from the Hamilton Verve. 100 watt maximum load for LED lights, but also if you've just got standard light fittings or lamps, it's 400 watt maximum. Okay, so
yeah, so incandescent style, yeah?
Yeah, there's different range dependent, just an important thing to note.
Now, is the box going to be deep enough?
Yeah, it is. So because it's a slight old build house, they haven't put 16mm boxes in. Almost fit a USB socket in there, okay. And it's chased quite far back. So
okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah. So
they've
those out.
They've been identified as well by sleeving.
Okay, yeah. So you've got those done as well.
Yeah.
So that's black on brown, yes?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, to identify that as a switching line conductor.
Yeah.
Again, just that little upgrade, isn't it? So we've gone from a switch that really could do with being freshened up. We've added it to the dimmer, so we get sort of a double whack, don't we?
Yeah. And again, you notice they've done things here. They've crimped them into the back box itself. We have a plastic accessory, so there is no earth terminal in here. So we'll just leave them as they are. They seem tight, so sort of happy with them.
And again, the connections are all in a row at the top.
Yeah.
And it looks this time as if you've got a little bit longer length than you did on that socket outlet.
Yeah. And they're already doubled over, so...
Yeah, so it's a nice straight swap. You don't get many of them, do you?
No, not at all. But again, like you said, it's when you're changing these just simple things like light switches over, the impact it has on a room, and people notice it when they walk in. Oh, that's a nice dimmer, even though it is a white accessory. So
just making those final connections on the dimmer.
Yeah, and a good thing about these dimmers as well, the modules are interchangeable as well. So
okay, so that one's nice and tight. We'll see. Put the cables back into the box, nicely dressed. Yeah. Got a little bit longer there, so that was handy.
Yeah.
So they should go back a treat, shouldn't they? You've had a bit of luck again here, haven't you?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. We all like jobs like this.
Have you got any other jobs which you can show me where you've been using the Verve range?
Yeah, so again, I use the Verve range all the time. It's my common go-to range. So I'm actually doing a bit of a partial rewire where I've started to use them accessories. So we can shoot over to there if you want to and have a look at the accessories we put there.
So you come across town, partial rewire?
Yeah, so we've been undertaking a partial rewire. We've come to second fix some of the accessories today. The customers started to decorate, as you can see up here. They've had the bathroom fitted, so it's more about they're going to start wanting to have carpets fitted, etc., and start to move in slowly. So we're going to swap some of the old plastered accessories because it was a partial rewire for the new Hamilton Verve range, which I use on every job anyway. So.
And that means we've got a USB socket by the side of the bed, some switches and things like that to swap over?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it certainly is your go-to accessory because we're taking one off. You obviously powered up so the customer had some power to decorate.
Yeah, and it just seems that they've plastered everything in. So what we're doing is changing these accessories now because they're, as you can tell by inside, they're a bit of a state. So what we're going to do is it's cracked a little bit as we've taken it off, where maybe they haven't bonded the box in around the edges there. So what we'll do is we'll get a bit of filler once we've got the new accessory on. We'll put a bit of filler there just for the customer, really. And it's both sides of the bed for USB. Is that what the standard practice is pretty much now? Yes, yeah, and it's just something they requested as well. They're the only USBs they want in the property, really. So okay, they're USB A's and are they 2.4 amps? Am I right in thinking for each of the outlets? Yes, they are. Yeah. So they get that quicker charging as well. So that's handy. I think. The bedside socket outlet becomes the phone charger, radio alarm clock, entertainment system and everything, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, having the ability to charge your device by the side of the bed is brilliant. So we can pop the new one on. Do you put the screw caps on at this stage or do you save them for the customer? No, I'll save them for the customer because, again, if we're going to have to fill around these edges, they're going to maybe just slightly loosen the socket off to cut it in with paint rather than them call me back and say, oh, I tried to get it off and I've damaged it because they don't know the tricks of the trade as such. So
Right, okay, so yeah, pop that one in.
Yeah.
And that's it, not nicely done. So yeah, you can see we're close to finishing. Downstairs is in a little bit of a worse state from the point of view we haven't had the plasterer in, so obviously they're working from the top down. Bathroom looks lovely. There's a USB socket outlet. Fitting many of these? Is it pretty much standard practice now to be fitting?
Yeah, everyone seems to love these now, and especially they've moved on. They now fit in a 25mm box. They become more common, and it's something I find yourself as an electrician sometimes saying, what about USB socket? Have you thought about having one of them here? Or, you know, you go and they've got extension leads with multiple iPhone chargers plugged in, etc. So
yeah, so it comes a mini upsell, doesn't it? You know,
yes.
the ability to have USB socket outlets. Because I always find with rewires, you start off with sockets, lights everywhere, and when you've finished and spent your money, you've still got sockets and lights everywhere. So it's down lights, it's USBs, and obviously the ability to switch maybe from more than one position than you would normally.
Yeah.
Obviously gives that little bit of a luxury feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We've said before, haven't we, about the Hamilton range being massively extensive, obviously with all those decorative ones, and we've also mentioned the wallpapered in one. Give them options, do you, within the Hamilton range?
Yeah. There's such a range on there. You can sort of cater for any need of what the customer wants. So whatever they're talking about having, whether it's just the Verve range, like these ones here, whether you're looking at different colour outlets, different finishes, different setups, they sort of cater for it all really. So when you go there and they ask you something and you think, oh, does my brand do that? Am I going to have to go searching for another brand? Most of the time Hamilton does. So
yeah, which is quite nice. You're looking through one catalogue and not across several catalogues in order for them to select what they want.
Yeah. 100%. Going to get some filler quickly.
Oh, you're going to filler it first?
Yeah, we're just going to filler it first before we push it back, rather than trying to filler it and then getting it all on the side of the socket and doing what was already happened to the previous outlet. So
yeah. And that's the beauty of it being an empty property. Obviously, we can just leave it off, can't we?
Yes, yeah, and the power's off anyway. We've safely isolated it, so yeah, I've got no issues there.
So this will freshen this one up, won't it? Because this is an old accessory.
Yeah, this is, again, it was a partial rewire. So this was one that was just left over from before we started doing some work here. Decided to leave it on for when they get it dirty, painting it, plastering, etc. We're going to swap this for a one gang. This is for the bathroom.
Definitely a two gang going.
Yeah, no, this was just again to preserve newer accessories rather than putting them on yet, because we knew they was going to get painted, etc. So did try and convince the customer the actual two-way switching for the landing and hallway is actually behind us.
Okay.
And again, that's just original. They didn't want it moving. You know, I did try and say to them, and the good thing I like about the Hamilton range is, let's say I was going to put a two gang on here and I needed, let's say, an intermediate and a two-way or a one-way, you can actually swap these out.
So if I had...
You can change the modules.
So if I'd made that a two gang and one of them wanted to be, say, the intermediate, you can just pop that out. So you can unscrew a two-way.
So you just take out the two little grub screws.
Okay, and this is obviously
either
a three gang, yeah?
Yeah.
So let's see that nice and close. Yep. So you just pop those out, and then you just interchange it for an intermediate. I wouldn't imagine too many people use one ways, but you could.
No, yeah.
So that comes out. Just click it out for me. Is it simple? Oh, wow.
It just sits out. So and then all I would do is I would maybe buy from the wholesaler an intermediate, one gang intermediate, take it off the back of that, slot it in place like so.
Yeah.
And then just screw it back in place.
So we could have had that there as a two gang. One of them could have been intermediate, and one of them could have been two.
I could have three intermediates if I wanted to. If I was putting on a three gang, that it's just little things like that, which is why this is my sort of go-to brand. So
yeah, all right. So we'll just have a look at see if there's any horrors under here. No, that's all right. So that was recently rewired. If it's brown and blue, I know it's 2004. I'm sounding old now, aren't
What's
I?
that?
When you said it's partial rewired, 2004.
Yeah, no,
that's a long time ago.
They had a pull cord basically, and it was just rerouted. Rerouted down to the box. So I'm just going to go to the van, get some sleeving
for
the switching line, and then we'll get the new switch on there. Again, it looks like the plasterer didn't take off the accessory slightly before he skimmed around it, so maybe fill out the edges just to give it a nicer finish. They can sand it down. I'm not a decorator, so I'm not painting it for them as well.
So you clearly stated you're no decorator, Marcus. However, we're always looking to add value to the customer. Obviously, it makes more work for us, but that must mean more money for us.
Yeah.
What sort of things can you offer up?
So again, things like where people are having TVs and media walls, plenty of socket outlets to stop the dreaded extension leads, coax points, RJ45 points, all available in the Hamilton Verve range. Also, things like brush plates.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
so where people have media walls and we maybe drop a bit of conduit in for their HDMI cables, etc. Now you can have the brush plates where they just come through and they can make the connections behind the TV, etc. The things I like about this one as well is it's actually got a grey brush as opposed to a dark black brush against the white accessory. Sometimes sticks out, especially if it's on show, where these are a bit more discreet. So all little bits like that make an ultimate difference to a customer's property. It's the little differences, they say, make the biggest difference. So
absolutely, and it seems, as we've said before, the range is massive. We almost can't catch it out, can we?
No, definitely not.
Shall we take a look at the microgrid system next?
Yeah, so just another handy element from the Verve range. We have this microgrid system, comes from a 1 to a 6 module. And we can put lots of different elements in there. So one of my favourite ones is this 3 module here. We've actually got a triple pole isolator for a fan. Okay, you can see it's labelled on there. It's got a picture of an isolator of a fan as well. With an inline fuse. We know a lot of extractor fans are actually stating now it should be protected by a 3 amp fuse or a 1 amp fuse. And if we turn it over, as you can see, we've got these little grubber screws here. So the top sort of clicks in place, you lever it down and you secure it in place with a grubber screw. And this plate, we can put anything in here we needed to, okay, to fit the installation we're doing. Another good one we got here, okay, we've got a 6 module, and we've got an inline fuse here for a fridge. As you can see, it's labelled, dishwasher, and then little handy, we can add a little light switch in there, okay, so we can, if we've got under cupboard lighting, plinth lighting, anything like that, we could actually control that in this same faceplate, so it's really handy. We get lots of different ones, so again, we can get them with just pictures on, okay, the double module ones, we get single module ones. They also come with just blank ones as well, okay, so again, a great range, still with a slim profile, curved edges, and we can, yeah, we can sort of arrange it to fit the installation as we need to.
So I started off the video with a few Richard Ashcrofts thrown in there. Hopefully you spotted them, and I'll do another one. I can change just about anything with the Verve range from Hamilton.
Yeah, absolutely can. If you need a 50 amp cooker switch, double pole, they've got it. If you need a phone master or a phone slave, they've got it. So pretty much anything you can think of in this accessory range, Hamilton will be able to provide you with.
However, it's always your feedback we're after. Is there something we haven't mentioned you think is a standout within the range? Please leave it in the comments below and we'll try and get back to as many as we can. Cheers, mate.